Dear guests, please rise and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem, sung by Robin Kane and Phil Cadidlo.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ring clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. Good morning. My name is Dr. Kimberly Pierce, and I am the Provost and Chief Academic Officer at Northwestern Health Sciences University. On behalf of the graduating classes and all of us at the university, I extend our warmest welcome to all the families, friends, and guests who are joining us for this summer 2024 commencement ceremony. We are absolutely delighted that you have chosen to join us today in celebration of our graduate success. It means so much to the graduates and to those of us who have been honored to support them throughout their academic journey. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Deborah Bushway, President and Chief Executive Officer of Northwestern Health Sciences University.
Thanks so much, Dr. Pierce. So I'd like to begin today's ceremony by introducing some of the folks up here on the stage with me. To begin with, Dr. Kimberly Pierce, who we've already met, who's our Provost and Chief Academic Officer. Next to her, Spring Saldana, who is the Massage Therapy Program Chair, and Spring has the job of reading the names today, which she will do an excellent job of, and she'll also lead the Massage Therapy Oath. And then we have Dr. Christiane Schultz, who is today's keynote speaker. Then Dr. Mark Garnett, who serves on our Board of Trustees and is representing our Board of Trustees here today. Dr. Chad Osgood, Dean of the College of Health and Wellness and the Interim Dean of the College of Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine. John Parag, the professor who will lead Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine Oath, and Dao Gong, the Associate Professor and the Hooder, you'll learn what that means soon, the Hooder for our Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine doctoral graduates. In addition to that platform, those members of our platform party, some members of our cabinet, our President's Cabinet, I'm going to get my mouth going. President's Cabinet and Administration are in attendance here today. Aaron Kahn, who's our Vice President for Enrollment Management, and Dr. Michelle Norton-Fleming, who's our Director of Clinical Services. Finally, our amazing, distinguished faculty is joining us here today. Please join me in recognizing all of them. Okay, welcome to commencement. Graduates, are you excited? We practiced. I'm gonna give them another shot. Are you excited? Okay, don't help them. You've helped them plenty already, right? Family members and friends are gathered here. Are you excited? We didn't even practice, and I don't even think you need a second chance at that. Members on the stage, are you excited? All right, okay, we got a lot of excitement is the point, and we appreciate you being here. And I'm pleased to see that excitement because it's pretty gloomy outside today, but you know what? We're not gonna let that dampen our spirits for this well-deserved celebration inside this room here today. So thank you for taking the time to come and celebrate the remarkable achievements of each of these graduates here with us today. So graduates, I have two things I want to say to you. Congratulations and thank you. And you're thinking, most excellent? That is the shortest graduation speech I've ever heard. But you're not that lucky. No, I got a few more things to add to that, just a little nuance. Congratulations, because you're really today celebrating reaching a key milestone in your life. Now, my guess is that this day, this moment, is one of those images that might have kept you moving forward in those late night studying or those moments when you maybe doubted yourself. So while today is a serious moment, it need not be a somber moment. In fact, we want you to celebrate. We want you to soak in all the well-earned joy and support and pleasure of reaching a goal like you have today. I want to note that some of our graduates, which you may have seen when they came in, are wearing ropes around their necks. And some of those are for academic honors, and you're going to learn more about that in a little bit. But some are red and blue, and those indicate either veterans or active duty military members. So will any graduates with red and blue ropes and any other active duty military or veterans please stand and allow us to thank you for your service. And you know that no matter what sort of regalia you're wearing today, I know that I represent others on this stage and in this auditorium in congratulating you. I'm confident that each of you has a compelling story about how you got to this point in your life. Now, I believe deeply in community, and as such, I believe that our individual accomplishments are rooted in the support and network of others around us. One component of that network is sitting up here on the stage with me. You can see up here representatives of your faculty and staff who have supported, challenged, and okay, maybe frustrated you a time or two along the way. So please join me in a round of applause thanking them for their work to get to this point. And of course, another vital part of this network is sitting with you today or with you in some way today. If they're not physically with you here today, they're with you in spirit. They may be joining us remotely as well. So some of it may be with colleagues in your class and just people that you carried with you in your spirit as you strove to this accomplishment today. These folks have been with you as you decided on this path, as you signed up for your first courses, as you had your moments of doubt. These people held and nurtured the hope, the vision of the future with you to allow you to pull through those moments of doubt and end up achieving your goal as you have today. So what I'd like to ask you to do today, right now, stand up, look around. If they're in the room, find them. If they're not in the room, find them within you, and let's have a round of gratitude applause for them. Stand on up. Definitely can't thank them enough. So I also said that I wanted to say thank you. And I thank you on behalf of all of our communities for choosing a career to further healthcare, for choosing to be a vital part of the solution so badly needed. As you know, our mission is to educate the next generation of healthcare providers. And as we all recognize, the healthcare system in our nation is under duress. I firmly believe that this system cannot be righted without the contributions you will make. You might not be the entire solution, but you are a critical part of the solution to moving forward. So now is your moment. Now it's your moment to shift your gaze your intellectual gaze, your emotional gaze, your moral gaze, out into the larger world. In your academic programs, at first you are very focused on learning a lot of information, right? A lot of detailed information, putting things into your head. Then you pivoted a little. You began to apply all of that important information. You got supervision in clinic. You looked at all kinds of diverse cases where you might apply your information. And began to knit this into a cohesive ability, set of competencies. And now, pardon me, now it's important that you knit it into something that fits for you, your worldview, your approach to this healing that you're going to be doing. This isn't always easy. You know a lot of things, but no one knows everything. And all practitioners, if they're honest, have moments when they're feeling overwhelmed by the specific problem sitting in front of them. And you have to be prepared for that moment. You have to be prepared for when the answer is not obvious. And you have to consider, who are you going to be as a healer in that moment, no matter where your profession is falling in this healing process that people experience, whether it's diagnostic, whether it's treatment, whether it's the whole shebang. You have to decide how you're going to show up. So what are you going to do? I will propose that in those moments, you bring yourself, right? You knit together all the research, all the skills, all the theory that you've gained in this academic program, and you help that person sitting in front of you with a complex problem to move forward, feel stronger that day, and into the future. And as you grow your identity as a healer, I'd suggest that you invite all of you. That part of you that initiated you moving into this profession, that sort of luminous, hopeful part of you, and you bring it alongside your spirit, your sense of humor, your soul, if you will. But you also have to protect those aspects of yourself for the long haul so that you can sustain your practice into the long term, into the future, so that you can exist, indeed thrive, inside that hope and optimism needed for your given career. Because you know what? You're going to become the carriers of hope for other people into the future now. I want to leave you with a quote. For there's always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. It's from Amanda Gorman. So I want to thank you, as I started this part saying, I am going to thank you for choosing to be the light, to be brave enough to continue creating solutions in healthcare for our communities and our nation. I know that if you are graduating from here, your mindset is to be truly responsive in a whole person manner to the person sitting in front of you. And we are grateful that you're joining the other heroes who do this work on a daily basis. Thank you for doing that. We need you. So now, I want to invite Dr. Chad Osgood, the Dean of the College of Health and Wellness, to the podium to introduce our first student speaker.
Prior to each commencement ceremony, the students from each college graduating class select student speakers to give an address on their behalf. You'll now hear from each of those students selected. The College of Health and Wellness graduating class has selected their classmate Natalie Campbell to present a message on their behalf. Before coming to NWHSU, Natalie's life took a sudden turn when her father passed away unexpectedly from a heart attack in March of 2022, following the loss of her mother to cancer in 2015. This left her two younger siblings orphaned. Natalie and her husband swiftly assumed guardianship of their siblings, navigating parenthood while in their early 20s and pursuing college degrees. During her time at NWHSU, she was involved in the Student Senate, advocating for her cohort when needed. Her passion for the medical field began early in childhood after accompanying her mother to her cancer-related appointments. In high school, she enrolled in courses such as EMT and Health Unit Coordinator. And after graduation, Natalie will start her career as a CT technologist at Children's Hospital in Minneapolis. It is my privilege to present Natalie Campbell.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, faculty, proud parents, and most importantly, the class of 2024. Today marks a significant milestone in our lives as we stand here on the edge of new beginnings. Graduation isn't just a ceremony, it's accumulation of years of hard work, perseverance, and growth. Each of us has overcome obstacles, embraced challenges, and strived for excellence, and today we celebrate our achievements together. Our time here has not only equipped us with knowledge, but with resilience and adaptability, our traits that will serve us well in the future. But today isn't just about looking back, it's about looking forward with optimism and determination. We stand at the threshold of endless possibilities, equipped with the tools to carve our own paths. Whether we pursue higher education, enter the workforce, or explore entrepreneurial ventures, let us carry the spirit of curiosity and the courage to chase our dreams. Of course, none of us reach this milestone alone. Our success is a testament to the unwavering support of our families, the guidance of our teachers, and the camaraderie of our peers. They believed in us when we doubted ourselves and celebrated our victories as their own. Let's take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to all who have helped us along this journey. As we step into a world beyond these walls, let us remember that challenges will continue to shape us, failures will teach us, and successes will inspire us. Embrace every opportunity with passion, integrity, and empathy. Let us strive not only to achieve personal success, but also to contribute positively to our communities and to the world as a whole. Class of 2024, as we bid farewell to this chapter of our lives, let us carry forward the values of perseverance, compassion, and lifelong learning. Let us continue to grow, to explore, and to make a difference wherever our paths may lead. Congratulations to each and every one of you. May your futures be bright, your aspirations be grand, and your hearts forever filled with the memories of this remarkable journey. Thank you, Class of 2024.
The College of Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine's graduating class has selected their classmate Emily Nyberg to present a message on their behalf. Emily Nyberg graduated with her master's in acupuncture from Northwestern Health Sciences University in 2023. This year, while finishing her doctorate in Chinese medicine, she began practicing Minnesota Institute Health Studio, or MIHS, in Northeast Minneapolis. After graduation, she will continue practicing at MIHS and will work towards licensure in California. Prior to studying Chinese medicine at Northwestern, Emily studied and apprenticed with a Western eclectic herbalist and completed her Reiki 1 and 2 training. She worked as a design director and event coordinator at nonprofits and for-profit businesses, coordinating large festivals, concerts, small events, video campaigns, publications, websites, social media, and more. She holds a bachelor in music and vocal performance from St. Olaf College and has performed as a soloist with the St. Olaf Choir. While at Northwestern, she has served as the Vice President of Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine on Student Senate for 2 years, Treasurer and Co-President of the Student American Society of Acupuncture, President of the Gender and Sexuality Alliance, and was active with the Diversity Scholars, Herb Club, and other student organizations. She also traveled to South Vietnam in 2023 and 2024 with student groups to study and observe traditional Vietnamese medicine doctors. In student clinic, she has had the opportunity to work with 24 amazing supervisors at Northwestern across 12 clinics, from inpatient and outpatient hospital clinics to private and community clinics around the Twin Cities, and supported patients experiencing headaches, migraines, gastrointestinal and dermatological conditions, scar healing, post-surgical support, chronic and acute pain, anxiety, depression, grief, PTSD, ADHD, sleep concerns, and more. Her practice today centers on finding the right combination of approaches to best support facilitating her patients' health and wellness, including the use of acupuncture, needle-free treatments, cupping, gua sha, electrical stimulation, breath work, and food and herbal therapy. Outside of the clinic, she enjoys hiking, camping, cooking and pickling things, reading, making ceramics, and spending time with family and friends. And she can't wait to continue to study and practice this medicine. It is my privilege to present Emily Nyberg.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations, graduates. It's a huge honor to speak today on behalf of the College of Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine class of 2024. I want to start out by thanking my classmates for your nomination and thanking some people on all our behalf. Thank you to the faculty, staff, administrators, and supervisors at Northwestern for guiding us to this moment, our family and friends for how they supported us through this program, and thank you to everyone sitting in these rows for the tremendous collective impact we've had on each other's education. It took a lot of effort, dedication, and many other things to get here. When I was thinking about what to share today, I looked back at the last 4 years and thought about how quickly this time went by. As students of Chinese medicine, we spent years learning things like medical theory, culture, and science, and how to improve our communication and boundary setting skills. And we also learned how we pushed the boundaries of our understanding of the body and what can be done with it. We also learned how to take better care of ourselves and our patients, and we connected and grew with others taking this journey to become a healthcare provider. While themes from all of the elements were involved in this process, it felt especially metal. Metal is associated with the lungs and grief, and one of the lessons we learn from the metal element is how to take in and let go, separating what is us and what is not, aka boundaries. There can only be so much expansion and growth before there is contraction and loss, and metal helps us know how to transition between these states with ease while standing firm in ourselves and who we are. Grad school was a process of learning how to comfortably flow between states of control. Pretty metal. You had control of some things like starting this program, how and when you studied, and how you communicated and showed up in classes and clinic. You didn't have control over things like what was important to study for classes, when your classes were offered, which clinical rotations you were assigned to, and people you interacted with. You navigated this flow to become the graduate that you are today. So you finished the curriculum detailing what you need to know to become an effective acupuncturist, pass boards, and get licensed to practice and keep doing this work. How does it feel knowing that you've joined the ranks of practitioners who know everything there is to know about this medicine? Okay, of course. Obviously, that's not true, as evidenced by the fact that our teachers have 10 to 40 years or more on us in studying, practicing, and living this medicine. So where does that leave us? With a really great foundation to continue studying, practicing, and living this medicine. We committed to a life of learning. Isn't that exciting? Last fall, I was preparing for boards, and I was overwhelmed, tired, and definitely not winding down like you should be doing in medal season to prepare for the winter. After so many different tests in school, I wasn't sure if I could beat these final 3 bosses to get licensed. Fortunately, around the same time, one of my favorite acupuncturists with an online presence, Russell Brown, shared advice that he had given to someone else going through the board process that helped me keep things in perspective. I'll share that now. The true overwhelm is not the fear that we don't know enough or aren't smart enough, but rather that caring for others is truly an awesome and awful responsibility, necessitated by a host of virtues like patience, compassion, wisdom, etc., that we fear we don't adequately possess, and we're leveraging accretion of knowledge to offset the nagging sting of our perceived unworthiness. We tell ourselves, if I know more, I can outrun the overwhelm. In truth, it doesn't work, because care is not an intellectual process, which is why I will never be smart enough to outgame it. And some days the overwhelm still gets me and I'm drowning in its responsibility, but some days I meet the challenge. And I say to myself, I will never know enough. I will never be smart enough, but I am enough. Whatever I am is worthy of my patient's trust. I am enough. And I find, to my own surprise, that I can breathe underwater. One of the most beautiful things about this medicine is that it teaches us to listen and pay attention to our bodies, which is a boon in a society designed around us living our lives in our heads while being disconnected from our bodies. We're meant to live life moving, feeling, and experiencing things in softness and balance, and we get to share this with our patients. So now comes the point where we get to exhale, release grad school, step across the stage, and inhale, embrace this new chapter of our lives. The biggest lesson I learned from observing and practicing under almost all of the acupuncture supervisors at Northwestern is that everyone practices differently. There are so many ways to help your patients with this medicine, and now we get to step further into developing our own practices. If you're ever in doubt, go back to the foundations and what we learned from our teachers. Reach out to another practitioner and discuss a case. And remember these two things. You are the best. Thanks, Jimbing. And care is not an intellectual process. So congratulations, class of 2024. We did it.
Well, you can see why we're so proud of our students from those two representatives, can't you? Such great words of advice for any of us, and thank you for the inspiration. So let's one more round of applause for thanking both of our student speakers. So now it's my honor to introduce Dr. Christiane Schultz as today's keynote speaker. Christiane Schultz holds a clinical doctorate in traditional Chinese medicine, practicing acupuncture since 2009. Her practical experience is working in hospital-based systems in both acute and clinical care. She enjoys working with all imbalances and believes that the body is a fascinating vehicle. She explains that in traditional Asian medicine, we believe there are three factors that need to be intact: mind, body, and spirit. If one aspect is off, they may all eventually become off, and that is when disease or imbalance occurs. So Christiane earned her master's degree in acupuncture and oriental medicine from Northwestern Health Sciences University in 2008, and her clinical doctorate was earned from the American Academy of Health and Wellness in 2018. She's been serving as adjunct faculty here at NWHSU since 2012. In 2009, Christiane spent 3 weeks at the Tianjin, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, I think, University in China, studying with some of the most famous TCM physicians in modern-day China who specialize in stroke protocols. Her passion is to help patients know that their bodies have an innate way to heal if provided the proper environment and balance. And she says that if her patient's health improves, she wants them to know that their body did the work. It simply needed the reminder. She enjoys complex cases with many referrals, being patients who struggle with chronic pain and other chronic symptoms. She enjoys a challenge and feels honored every day that a patient chooses her to be a part of their healing process. Working within a hospital-based system has afforded her the opportunity to become familiar with the treatment of idiopathic diseases, syndromes, and complex pain. When patients feel frustrated that they've not found relief in Western medicine system approaches, she strongly believes that the integration of mind, body, and spirit provides the patient with rebalance. And then in turn, with rebalance comes the healing. She's also a certified emergency medical technician, has served as a firefighter for 2 years. Hope we don't need that particular service today, but she's loved the opportunity to work alongside some of the best humans in emergent situations, which has provided her with a deeper sense of humanity, wellness, and the importance of community. Distinguished guests and colleagues, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Christiane Schultz.
Good afternoon. How exciting. So happy graduation day to all medical disciplines here. As you know, my name is Christiane Schultz, and I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine, which really doesn't mean much. It's just a title, a means of credentials that I've accomplished the coursework and dissertation, but until I put my credentials and accomplishment into action and experience, the title really means nothing. This is a process. 16 years of practice, and I still am and will always be a student. In this auditorium, some of us wear the hat of student, some mentor, some teacher, some colleagues, friends, and family. We are all here today together as a community to celebrate your journey as graduates into the next phase of your holistic medicine practices. I'm very, very excited for you all. Today is the day we stop calling you our students and start calling you our colleagues. My dear colleagues, you are now on the precipice of offering knowledge to us as we have offered to you. Your practices will unfold a curiosity about nature and the human body that words cannot explain or describe. And the only way to experience this is by practicing. Put into action all of your knowledge, what your patient is presenting with, trusting you with. In order to set this forth, reach out to those around you, and me included, for your support. Within our community of providers, there is no place for animosity and competition. Leave that behind. You are no longer getting graded. You're becoming some of the best people in somebody else's healing process. We all need each other to do what we are called to do. Help the patients to help themselves. This is not hostile care, it's holistic care. Remember, we are building bridges, we are not burning them down. So today is about you, this day in which we celebrate this pointed, pivotal place setting of your life. Your dedication, determination, and perseverance in arriving at this point speaks volumes of who you are. And when it comes to a goal, you'll make it to the finish line. And today is evidence of this. But here's the difficult news. This is the beginning of the finish line. This is the beginning of the start line. This is the beginning of your journey in a natural medicine practice. And each of you will have various destinations. Some may start your own practice, while others will go on to join a clinic or an integrative setting with a group of fabulous providers. Others may go on to aid in research, helping further the knowledge of our medicine and answering questions to deep theories and concepts. And yet still for others, this may be a stepping stone to another pathway or vocation. So have realistic expectations of yourself, your practice, and most importantly, your patients. Each day is a new opportunity to provide balance and the correction of imbalance. Not only your patient's chi, but your chi, your energy, and your energy first. As the Huangdi Neijing says, you have to have your chi pristine before the treatment of another. If you are not well in mind, body, and spirit, you should not be treating a patient. After all, they will not benefit, nor will the provider benefit if both need adjustments. Care for yourself first as a provider of care and be an example to your patients and a model. Understand the environment where you are treating and its condition and its limitations. If you do not understand what's happening within your patient, go outside and observe how nature behaves and corrects itself. It is there that you will find the answers. This is the root of our medicine, with the elements being our professors: water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. Some of you don't know that Chinese medicine has many theories and relationships in the universe that influence health and well-being. This is included, but not limited to, the meridians, the pathways within our body that link to the organ systems, and within the pathway are the points that influence our energy and the overall health and well-being of the body. This is a very basic understanding. The complexity becomes the understanding of the mind-body-spirit connection within the time of year, time of day, emotions, taste properties such as salty, sour, bitter, sweet, and spicy, the emotions fear and shock, anger, joy, pensiveness, worry, and sorrow, the climactic factors of wind, cold, damp, summer heat, dampness, dryness, and fire. Is the disease pattern internal, external, hot, cold, yin, yang, excess, or deficient? How do colors influence us, black, blue, green, red, yellow, white, and sounds and notes that influence our well-being? The list goes on and on into how the universe around us causes our bodies to react. But newsflash, we can't go home with our patients and monitor their environment. What we can do is educate them to care for themselves and educate how the environment around them affects them. So much of our culture is about what we put into our body with the focus of food and how we move our body with the focus of exercise. We have more inputs that affect how we process chemical changes that can create disease. Our eyes, what we see, our ears, what we listen to, our nose, what we smell, our mouth, what we taste, and our skin, what we feel. This, with all the others that have been mentioned here, are key to overall health and well-being. It is important to educate your patients of these principles. As a provider of care, it's up to you to help your patients figure out what is the source of their dis-ease. But don't give it away. Provide your patients the opportunity to come to their own buy-in. No one wants to be told what to change and how to change it, but they want to be encouraged, inspired, and moved to see what may be the cause and how they can better their conditions. The change comes within the support of the structure and how to encourage our patients to sleuth what is the best environments to be putting their bodies through. With electronics, entertainment, and news at our fingertips, stress from work, family relationships, and disease, within seconds, these influence and create chemical reactions within our bodies. If we are in an increase of stress or fear, which has its wonderful purpose to help us run from the bear when the bear is chasing us, or lifting heavy equipment off a loved one, but the fact is that we were not designed to tolerate this type of stress on a daily basis. Stress and adrenaline will break down the body when sustained for long periods of time. And let's face it, most of our patients are at that point before they come in and see us for a treatment. I would say 98% of my patients come in to put out the fire, so to speak. Well, I was a well-trained structure firefighter for the Eden Prairie Fire Department for 2 years, and the lessons that I learned still apply today for many things in life. Just last week, I was on a retreat for myself up on the edge of the Boundary Waters at the end of the Gunflint Trail and about 2 miles of a paddle into where I was staying and 1 hour away from a hospital to replenish my overall health and well-being. And this beautiful, pristine, and peaceful retreat center had 30 guests like myself were there to replenish and renew our whole selves. While I was laying down, peacefully practicing yoga nidra, my instructor yelled, "Fire! The sauna house is on fire!" Having the training I did, I hopped shoeless out into the rainy night down the hill, trying not to slip with a fire extinguisher. The fire was roaring, about 2 stories high, and the building I would suspect was built in the 1970s, a well-built structure that, unbeknownst to me, was insulated, and a metal roof kept the fire well contained. It took 1.5 hours for the volunteer wildland firefighter department to make it to the retreat center, and another 2 hours of working at the fire. I was asked to step aside and let them do their work, not communicating with whoever was in command that I was a structure firefighter and had the knowledge of how these continue to burn. I let it go. I went as instructed and showered, went to bed, and 3 hours later, fire! The structure's back on fire. This time, I made sure all who were present to help knew of my knowledge and what might be helpful, which was to put the fire out to the best of our knowledge, tear the structure down, and saturate with water before it started another fire. What I was most impressed with is that the structure was sound and hot, and we had nothing to put out this fire but buckets of water, good teamwork, good listeners, and eventually a garden hose, and 2 wildland firefighter hoses and nozzles, which are not like structure fire hoses that we have here, which are 2 1/4 and 3.5 inch hoses. We had a good old-fashioned fire brigade going on, and we put what could have been an evacuation scenario to bed with just the willingness to come together as a group, listening and following orders, not ego. I thought about how much that paralleled with my acupuncture practice metaphorically. It takes many disciplines to do the work to get the job accomplished. It takes Western medicine providers, chiropractors, massage therapists, physical therapists, orthopedic physicians, neurologists, GI physicians, oncologists, physiatrists, palliative nurse practitioners, and hospice care, and the list goes on and on and on. I also keep other providers of acupuncture and my professors on my list, because if I become stagnant in my treatments and need for a fresh set of eyes and have others who may have the answers, no one expects you to know this medicine alone, but it does feel isolating at times. If I was a solo responder to that fire, I would have been overtaken by flames, and the forest and other buildings nearby would have also been destroyed. A good practice does not have pride and ego, but has patience and realistic expectations of the provider and their patient. It is a place of camaraderie with your patient, and a place where your patient needs to know you care by listening and treating according to their best interest. It is up to you to call on the brigade, not fight it alone. The brigade can be 2 acupuncturists solving a difficult case, or it could be a village of providers and/or more education or professional development hours to help get to the source. Once a student, always a student. In traditional Chinese medicine, patients are our greatest teachers. Thank them for teaching you what you did not know and allowing them the access to these spaces, trusting you with their care. When you apply the needle, you hold the key and they hold the space. Healing begins with the 20/80 rule. A wise professor asked me, how much do you think you have to do with your patient's healing? What percentage do you think? 90%? 80%? 50%? No, it's about 20% you, what you bring, your knowledge, your skill set, and 80% is what your patients will bring to heal. This ratio has not only given me a boundary with my patients, but has encouraged my patients with the knowledge to know that their bodies can do the work. So when they feel better, they know that they can hold the key and that their body does the work to heal itself. I have no doubt that each and every one of you here today with a purpose and a destination will go forth and make a difference. Find curiosity in the process and gratitude for the opportunity to treat and influence others in mind, body, and spirit. All the best to you. Thank you.
So Dr. Schultz, in gratitude for sharing the amazing leadership and wisdom there, and with my joke about not needing the firefighting, I had no idea we were going to have a real example there, but that's awesome. Thank you for being here today. We really appreciate it.
It's an honor and pleasure. Thank you.
It is a custom for universities to honor the academic excellence of their graduates by identifying them as having achieved the status of cum laude, which means which in Latin means with honors. At Northwestern, we recognize 3 levels of academic excellence: cum laude, graduates with a cumulative grade point average equal to or exceeding 3.5; magna cum laude, graduates with a grade point averaging equal to or exceeding 3.7; and summa cum laude, for graduates with a cumulative grade point average equal to or exceeding 3.9 on a 4-point scale. We also recognize our class valedictorians who have achieved the highest GPA in the graduating class. All of our academic honors recipients wear gold cords as a part of their regalia. and the level of honors is denoted in the program and will be listed on their name slide as they cross the stage today. As the Dean of the College of Health and Wellness, it is my pleasure to announce the class valedictorians for the college. When your name is called, please stand in place to be recognized. Stephen Englehart, Vanessa Van Putten, and Dan Black. We will now recognize the class valedictorians for the College of Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine. As interim dean of the college, it's my pleasure to recognize the achievements of these students. When your name is called, please stand in place to be recognized. Amelia Kendall Bierschbach and Andrea McNear. I would now like to welcome Spring Saldana to the podium to present the academic certificate and degrees.
Dr. Bushway, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Health and Wellness, it is my pleasure and distinct honor to present the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science in Radiologic Technology. I ask our graduates to come forward as I call your name. Jenna Bauer. Laura Boroquez. Natalie Campbell. Juliana Escoto Vega. Madison Clavin. And Savannah Jean Minage. Will the audience please join me in congratulating these graduates? I now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Human Biology. Leah Norbury. Dr. Ruben Tan. Will the audience please join me in congratulating these graduates? I now present the candidate for the Master of Health Science in Integrative Care, Diane Long. Will the audience please join me in congratulating our graduate? I now present the candidates for the Certificate in Relaxation and Therapeutic Massage and the Associate of Applied Science in Massage Therapy. Alyssa Atkins Murray. Erica Himmelspach. Maria G. Perez Escobedo. James G. Wells. Dan Black. Valerie Darger. Valerie is receiving the Certificate in Therapeutic Massage and Associate of Applied Science in Massage Therapy. Kelsey Nicole Hendershot. Lene Newman. Coulter Porter. April Sky Ray. And Mariah Wolf. We're going to pause just a moment so these graduates can make their way back to the seats. Looks like a lot of them need to make their way back to the seats, which is fine. But I hope you can hear me out there if you're out there. I just want to say thank you for choosing this profession, this beautiful, wonderful profession of massage therapy. Thank you for choosing yourself, first and foremost. And please remember, and I just want to, again, a lot of people have said this, but please remember that you're just as important as the people that you will serve. And it's much easier to pour from a full cup instead of an empty cup. Always remember that. I know we've got some people coming around still and doing kisses in the back. So in just a moment, I'm going to ask the graduates to rise, and we're going to say an oath. But if there's any massage therapists in the audience or behind me that would like to reaffirm their oath, you can join us as well. All right, graduates, please rise. Right hand up, please, and repeat after me. As a graduate of Northwestern Health Sciences University, I accept the responsibility to do no harm to the physical, mental, or emotional well-being of self, client, and professional peers. I promise to provide the highest quality of massage to those who seek my professional services. I will respect the confidential nature of the client-therapist relationship. And I will conduct all business and professional activities within my scope of practice and the laws of the land. Congratulations, you may be seated. Dr. Bushway, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine, it is my pleasure and distinct honor to present the candidates for Master of Acupuncture. I ask our graduates to come forward as I call your name. Jasmine Amberg. Amelia Kendall Bierschbach. Dr. Beck Axiom Brevard. Autumn Drake. Jordan Mock. Katie Reichenberger. And Julie Wyatt. I now present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Acupuncture with a Chinese Herbal Medicine specialization and Doctor of Chinese Medicine. Tao Gong, a member of our faculty, will assist with the hooding of our graduates. Graduates, please come forward as I call your name. Dr. Stephen Engelhart. Dr. Engelhart is also receiving the Bachelor of Science in Human Biology degree. Dr. Andrea McNear. And Dr. Emily Nyberg. I would like to now invite John Prague, Professor in Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine, to the podium, who will lead our graduates in reciting the oath of practice.
We're waiting for everybody to sit down. Graduates of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, please stand and raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I pledge to follow the way of the great healer. I will honor life and learn from it. I will place my patient's safety and well-being above all else. I will be faithful to the trust they have placed in me. I will treat my patients with dignity and preserve their privacy. I will give gladly of my skills and receive thanks humbly. For I am a servant, not a master, and an everlasting student. Today is another beginning, another small step as I dedicate myself to life, to health, and to healing. Congratulations, you may be seated.
Will all the candidates please rise while Dr. Bushway confers the certificates and degrees.
Okay, you ready? Deep breath, this is your moment that you've been waiting for. On recommendation of the faculty and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees at Northwestern Health Sciences University and by the state of Minnesota, I hereby confer upon you your certificates and degrees with all of the pertaining rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Audience, on behalf of Northwestern Health Sciences University, please join me in congratulating our newest graduates. Please remain standing for the closing of the ceremony.
Will the audience please also rise and remain in place for the recessional? Thank you so much for being with us today, and congratulations once again to our newest alumni and colleagues.